Rams are at Arizona next Sunday. The Chargers had more rushing yards than passing yardage in their 12-point win over the Las Vegas Raiders at SoFi. J.K. Dobbins ran for 135 yards and 1 touchdown. Even though the Chargers have one of the NFL's best quarterbacks in Justin Herbert, Harbaugh let everybody know that his team will be running the football. The Chargers are at Carolina next Sunday. The Dodgers shut out Cleveland Sunday. They now have a 6-game lead over San Diego in the NL West. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I need your dollar, 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 that's what I need.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Trying to get paid.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we're so blessed to start our week, as always, with a yoga instructor, a meditation teacher. She is a sound healing expert, a sound bathologist, as I like to say, a numerologist, an astrologer, and a life coach. It's time for Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, power, wisdom, and truth. This week's Mindful Monday focus is on the truth as we honor the celestial influence of the Sun in Virgo conjunct Mercury. Mercury is exalted in Virgo, giving us a double dose of clarity, perfection, and tenacity. Virgo is associated with the harvest season and the process of separating the wheat from the chaff, or the weak from the strong. While the Sun and Mercury are in Virgo, we may overanalyze things, be nitpicky, and judge everything in our lives. This transit stimulates our our craving for order and clarity, calling us to be selective about the thoughts we entertain and the information we consume. And remember, the thoughts we entertain and the information we consume, because as we think, so shall it be. As we speak, so shall it be. We have an opportunity to see how our doubts and fears create mental blocks limiting our thinking. The gift is we get to solve misunderstandings and integrate with discernment things that take our power away. Most of all, embrace a broader impact on the choices and actions we take. So going forward, let's unpack anchoring our power with our KBLA Mindful Monday meditation, bringing our awareness here and now to our breath. So quiet your mind, quiet your body, take a deep breath in, and exhale, be here now, open to being on purpose in this moment with an open heart. Ground yourself, center yourself, and just breathe normal and quiet yourself. It's challenging underneath this Mercury Virgo conjunction to center our thoughts. So mindfully allow yourself to let go, to be present in this time and space. Take time to be here now, open to your inner spirit. Now just breathe. Breathe and relax. Breathe in love from the Most High and allow yourself to be centered. Now take the biggest breath you've had all morning. And as you exhale, call on your angels, call on your ancestors as we surrender all aspects of our life to our wholeness right here, right now. Inhale and allow yourself to be ready to receive clarity of your purpose. Exhale. Allow your outer vision to match unconditional love in the world behind your eyes, honoring the truth of the world behind your eyes. Inhale, calling your soul's wisdom, asking yourself, how can I level up? How can I level up to my fullest potential? Exhale, relax, and let go. And sit with that. How are you willing to level up to your fullest potential, allowing the inner vision to match the outer vision, or to bring clarity to your outer vision from your inner vision? Now take a breath and open your heart and just listen. Listen with your inner knowingness. Exhale, relax, and receiving divine guidance and insight, bringing self-love, bringing faith, and bringing truth into your life here and now. Just breathe, quieting your mind. Take a breath and exhale, releasing all obstructions to divine guidance. Allow yourself to yield to truth and change. Now inhale, committing to doing and being unapologetic and being progressive in your consciousness, opening your heart and mind to infinite possibility. Now allow yourself to just sit for a moment, sit in your stillness, promising yourself to welcome self-empowerment, to welcome celebration of your best life. Sit with that for a moment. What would your life be like if you allowed yourself to honor your best life being self-empowered? Just breathe and relax. And now breathe, allowing yourself to integrate your wholeness. Relax and quiet your mind and listen to your breath. Embrace mind, body, and spirit right here, right now. And allow yourself to be open to our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Take a big breath. Exhale, relax. Let your breath be normal. and embrace our Mindful Monday affirmation. Today, with grace, I unapologetically accept the gift of truth in my life, receptive to my divine purpose. Today, with grace, I unapologetically accept the gift of truth in my life, receptive to my divine purpose. Relax and bring your awareness back. Be in present time and give yourself permission to unapologetically embrace and accept the gift of truth in your life, opening all of your being to your divine purpose. Relax and center and carry that with you. Are you on purpose? Are you allowing the divinity within you to navigate your path? Thank you, Dominique. Have a Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetically blessed week. And be mindful of how you're using the power. How are you standing in your truth? And are you receptive to the gift of who you are?
Saharah Ali, Molly Bell's in the chat saying, she says, Grand Rising on this Mindful Monday. Sister Saharah Ali, we're ready. How do I unpack and unwind in anticipation of tomorrow's debate? I'm nervous. Calling on my angels. 2024 is what it is. And I can relate to that. I mean, I think not just tomorrow, but in general, there's a lot of nervous energy and all-out fear around this election. You've advised us to pray. What else would you add to that for Molly Bell?
Okay, so let's listen to what you just said. Fear. Fear is a false expectation appearing real. It is not real. It is an illusion. And all the politics and political nonsense has to do with self-empowerment and us empowering ourselves and standing in our truth as a collective. The issue here now is we have to be a collective in our mind and our body and our spirit, and we have to stand for what we want and not black down. It is so important that we reframe the perspective of which we are witnessing things. We understand that everything is an illusion. Buddha taught us that. But Jesus taught us that we must be about our Father's business. And about our Father's business is about being in wholeness, being in truth, and knowing our worth, knowing our value. And so if we know our value and we know our truth and we believe and we have faith, we will release the fear. We will release the false expectation and give ourselves permission to see what we want, not what we don't want. We have to disempower the illusion of the orange man. He has no power. We give him power. You know, they say, as you speak, so shall it be. So as you are speaking, whether you speak of him negative or however you speak of him, you're giving him power. So let's not speak of him. Let's speak of the sister who we want in place. Let's speak of what the universe is trying to give our psyche, that there's a paradigm shift from the masculine to the feminine, and the masculine archaic beliefs no longer serve where we're going as a collective. So we hold the space of truth, of knowing our power and who we are and what we're willing to give birth to, not the illusion and the fear and the judgment and even the memory of what we don't want. Let's focus on what we do want. And that's how we elevate ourselves. That's how we become unapologetic in our faith, standing in what we believe. So as a collective, we reframe the perspective of what we think is being done to us and look at what we are willing to do for us.
But when you talk about the rise of the divine feminine, you're not talking about an anti-man movement or some kind of, I mean, you're married to a manly man who's very tall. And I mean, I just use that as a personal example, but I know there, when you talk about false expectations appearing real, there's a lot of that online that somehow, in fact, I had a man say to me the other day that if you're not saucy Santana, there's no place for you in Kamala Harris's world. I know plenty of very manly men that, whatever that is, that stand with her. But, you know, I just wonder, since you're framing that in a spiritual, astrological sense, if you can address that.
It's called integration, okay? We put salt and pepper on our food. We don't say, oh, just pepper. We don't say just salt. It's integration. We have masculine, we have feminine. We need that to give birth to something. However, there has been a mindset where we were in this masculine thing. Let's go shoot it up. Let's kill it. Let's destroy it. And that's how we win. From a feminine perspective, let's say, let's rethink this, let's renegotiate this, and let's be inclusive and let's be a collective. And so the collective energy is the expression of a feminine energy, whereas the masculine energy is black and white. Feminine energy is the rainbow. We see all sides. We can't just look at it black and white. We have to see all sides. And even as a masculine being programmed to be just black and white, and the feminine, we see everything. We know how to, the rule is the masculine goes out and hunt the deer. The feminine, he brings it home, drop it at the doorstep. And this is archaic perspective. And we make deer soup, deer hats, deer coats, deer shoes. We do everything with that deer, whereas he just thought he was bringing it home to feed him.
Yeah. We're going to leave that there for today, but certainly I think it's important to address that the rise of the feminine does not mean the diminishing of the masculine. It's just a cycle, right?
It's integration. It is called integration of the polarity of who we are as individuals, as a collective. It's integration. It's not having one side. It's not one side of the other. It's a collective. And that collective comes from the divine intelligence of the feminine perspective. We see 360. That's why we don't drive in and out of traffic like that, because we see the woman across the street and see the man up the street, down the street. Right? We don't just see straight ahead. We see everything straight ahead.
Well said, Saharah Ali. We might have to do a show after the election where people can really box it out and negotiate it out around that topic. Meanwhile, if you want to get a reading or you want to recalibrate yourself with a sound healing treatment, I would recommend it. It's very, very helpful. I think I'm past due for one myself. You can go to SaharahAli.com, maybe take a yoga class. That'd be great for all of us. Or you could make an appointment by calling her assistant, Elise, at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. Things like, well, the two things, acupuncture and sound healing for me are secret weapons. When nothing else works, when no one knows what's going on, and I don't feel right, I find that those two things can get me back in balance. And so that's a blessing. Thank you for your work, and thank you for all that you shared today, Saharah.
Thank you, Dominique, and thank you, KBLA family. Have a beautiful, unapologetically blessed week.
Absolutely. When we come forward, it's time to talk about it. Got something to say? Say it right here on this here microphone, on that here their telephone, 800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. That's where we at, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
Febreze. So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Tavis is under attack. I can't get his radio station on my transistor. I'm getting the Asian station that he's right around, but they're not letting KBLA 1580 come in. I'm not getting the black man. So let Tavis know he's under attack. Cyber attack, racist attack, fascist attack, but he's under attack. And they doing something to disrupt his radio station so they won't get the truth out to us.
Hey, it's Tavis. We appreciate all that love, let me tell you, because we may very well be under attack on all sides. Just because you don't believe in conspiracy theories don't mean they ain't after you. But in reality, sometimes stuff happens with the signal from the studio to the tower, which sends our programming to your car, home, office, or your transistor radio. But when you download the KBLA 1580 app, the sound is clear as a bell all day, all night, anywhere in the world, from Los Angeles to Lagos. So, we love all of our listeners, no matter how you hear us. But when you download the KBLA 1580 app and hear that richness, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. But don't take my word for it. Download the KBLA 1580 app right now. I'm Tavis Smiley, and I approve this message.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Try Venus for pubic hair and skin, the razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Discover the full regimen of products at GilletteVenus.com.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And I want to remind you that you're invited to tune in tomorrow night for that debate Molly Bell was talking about. Starts at 6 p.m. Pacific. Of course, that's 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. We are going to be carrying it and covering it here on KBLA Talk 1580. That is Vice President Kamala Harris taking on former President Donald Trump. Right after the 90-minute debate, me and Tavis Smiley will host a talkback session with the live audience here in our Leimert Park studios. We'll watch the debate together, and then we'll talk about it together. So listen to the debate live Tuesday night right here. Then stay tuned after it concludes to hear live reaction from our viewing party audience, and of course myself and Tavis, probably doing what we usually do, which is agreeing to disagree. It'll be it should be very stimulating, and I think more anticipating this debate than I have anticipated a debate for quite some time. This new polling shows that the former president is absolutely not out of the game, but that shouldn't be surprising to anybody. It's the new polling is showing that his supporters, his base, are holding steady. I don't think that's surprising. I don't agree with the Politico headline. They say Harris's momentum has stalled. I don't think that's a fair assessment. I think what it is showing is that it's a tough race, and that's not a surprise to any of us. According to this particular poll, the president and vice president, the former president and vice president, are more or less tied. And, it's a New York Times Siena College poll. It has Kamala Harris at 47% and Donald Trump at 48%. That's within the margin of error, of course, which is a 3-point margin of error. And they're saying that the excitement that came when Kamala Harris came to the top of the ticket has not hurt Trump with his hardcore voters. That's not surprising. And it also seems to line up with their polling that goes in more granularly to look at what's happening in the battleground states, the so-called battleground states. They've got Harris up 1 point in Pennsylvania, Harris and Trump both at 48% in Nevada, Michigan, Harris up 2 points, Harris up 3 points in Wisconsin, tied, dead heat at 48% in Georgia, North Carolina, dead heat at 48%, Arizona also tied at 48%. For me, this is a great argument for going on a road trip or getting on some phone calls to Nevada, calling your relatives, y'all know you have them in North Carolina and Georgia, and making sure that people vote. because the only way this doesn't turn into a total nightmare after the election is a decisive victory for the vice president. It's like less than 8 weeks away. And it looks like, according to this polling, it's a very tight race. But like I said, that's not breaking news for most of us. I do think that it puts more emphasis or more pressure on tomorrow night, excuse me. I moved it up a day. Tomorrow night's debate, especially for the vice president. Because as the polling does show, Trump's keeping his people while Harris builds. And some folks say they don't know much about her, which is interesting considering she's been the vice president for almost 4 years. Was a U.S. senator before that, was a state attorney general before that. It seems odd, but folks say they don't know much about her. So that being said, she's got to have a strong performance tomorrow. I think she will. I hope she does. And by strong performance, I don't mean she's got to hit Trump over the head with a bat, an intellectual bat, of course, not a literal bat. Although, I would love nothing better. But I don't think that's really what she needs to do, because the people that love him are going to love him no matter what they learn or no matter what she does. What she's got to do is make the case for herself. She's got to talk about her policies, show who she is, act presidential, which she seems to have been doing quite well lately. And I think that's the key. That is the key. I think it's ironic. I saw one of my Twitter followers. I actually follow him or her also. I'm not sure from the way they present themselves what their gender is. They don't have pronouns up. Saying, because they take a Kamala Harris quote out of context where she says she's not going to do something for black people, that Californians are following their presidential nominee in not supporting reparations. Well, first of all, California did pass some very significant bills, including one to make it easier to claw back land taken through racially biased uses of eminent domain. But second of all, the Vice President of the United States supported H.R. 40 in the Senate. She supported reparations on the Senate side when she was a U.S. Senator. And in 2020, when asked by Al Sharpton if she would sign H.R. 40 into law if she was president, she said yes. Okay? Will she campaign on it right now? No. Should she? Absolutely not. But I think it is very disingenuous to claim, because this vice president, this candidate, has made a more strong commitment to reparations than any presidential candidate outside of Cornel West, and he's had his troubles with the issue too, in history. So don't let that be the reason. News, traffic, sports, then call me. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. 3 former Memphis, Tennessee police officers will be in federal court today as their trial in the death of African-American Tyree Nichols begins. Thaddeus Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith each face 2 federal counts of civil rights violations, conspiracy to tamper with evidence, and obstruction of justice. The U.S. Department of Justice's antitrust case against Google begins today. Prosecutors allege the Alphabet company's online ad technology inhibits smaller companies from competing. Forecasters expect the heat wave roasting Southern California to stick around at least throughout today. Friday's record-breaking temperature of 112 degrees in downtown Los Angeles broke the previous record of 111 degrees recorded in 2020. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 in my garage after I overpaid for new blinds. I researched the industry, hired my mom, and 14 years later, we're one of the largest retailers of custom blinds in the U.S. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man.
A mixed bag for LA's NFL teams in week 1 of the regular season. The Chargers won their first game with new coach Jim Harbaugh. The Rams lost in overtime at Detroit. The Rams never got the ball in the overtime session. The Lions drove 70 yards in 8 plays. 7 of the 8 plays were on the ground, capped by a 1-yard touchdown run by Lions running back David Montgomery. The Rams are at Arizona next Sunday. The Chargers had more rushing yards than passing yardage in their 12-point win over the Las Vegas Raiders at SoFi. J.K. Dobbins ran for 135 yards and 1 touchdown. Even though the Chargers have one of the NFL's best quarterbacks in Justin Herbert, Harbaugh let everybody know that his team will be running the football. The Chargers are at Carolina next Sunday. The Dodgers shut out Cleveland Sunday. They now have a 6-game lead over San Diego in the NL West. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
That morning chill means truck season.
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 and Colorado pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 24.5%. Plus finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 9/30/24.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
They say the hardest part of getting something done is getting started. Well, we did that 30 years ago when California first took on the tobacco industry. Now, smoking is down 60%, lung cancer 42%. A couple of our cities have already ended tobacco sales. A California without big tobacco isn't just possible, it's already happening. See our progress at undo.org.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Beach Bum.
Hey, we're heading down to the beach. You coming?
Yeah, Dad. You coming?
I had a little too much to eat at the resort buffet. I need a minute. Oh, you overdid it. And now your beach vacation is giving you belly waves. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief so you can get back to making memories.
Let's go, Dad!
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black. Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Hey. And I am looking forward to next hour as well, talking with Jay Young from Common Cause. They're a nonpartisan organization, but they are doing powerful work to build a government that works for everybody, as they say, to protect the vote in 2024 and to make sure that every eligible voter gets to be heard. So find out what you can do if you're worried. If you're nervous, Molly Bell, maybe you want to do something with Common Cause. Nothing like working for a cause to make ourselves feel a little bit better in crazy, crazy times. Phone lines are hot, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. The debate prep is on, or policy time, as Trump calls it. I feel so sorry for his age. As much as he melts down live in person, imagine how he is behind the scenes, right? They say he's constantly calling Kamala the B word, and I'm sure he's yelling at them and ranting and raving about sharks. And that's a whole mess trying to keep that guy on point. Meanwhile, his Trump media stock continues to plunge. He's lost $4 billion in potential wealth since this election cycle took place. And I'm sure he's not at all happy about that. But hey, he's got plans to get it all back when he gets in the White House, by hook or by crook, mostly by crook. Other big news over the weekend, from my perspective, Kendrick Lamar will be headlining the Super Bowl this year. And just when I thought they couldn't pull another rabbit out of their hat to make me want to watch the halftime show, they have done it. So a lot of people online were mad, saying Lil Wayne should have been chosen. Do you agree with that, Miles? It's because he's from Louisiana?
Yeah, and Wayne is a legend, and Wayne has a great catalog. And we love to champion Lil Wayne, same way how we love champions somebody like Snoop Dogg. And we were expecting a Cash Money, no limit type of
right. Master P
real
said he thought that Lil Wayne should have been there.
Yeah.
But also the Super Bowl transcends whatever city it's in, and they're going to go with what's hot at the time.
Right.
What's hot at the time is Kendrick Lamar.
I'm telling everybody, I get the Wayne. Sure, Wayne would have been an amazing pick, but hip hop's still on top, man. Let's go.
Right. Hip hop was. Do you think he might bring him out?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Even though there's the little beefy situation somewhat.
Look, everybody loves Wayne, so I'm sure if
right, even though Wayne is Drake adjacent, but not really.
I'm pretty sure if Kendrick is as strategic as I think he is, I think he'll still end up bringing somebody like a Wayne out.
Yeah, well, you can bring Bloods and Crips together.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing, though. I'm happy for it.
Yeah, I'm happy for him, too. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Compton. Happy for hip-hop and for California. And I'm happy for me because I get to see a halftime show that I want to see. No hate on Lil Wayne. I actually like some of his music. Yeah, we'll leave that right there.
I'm just glad it's not some of the other options they could have picked.
Right. Yeah. I don't know who you're thinking of, but there's so many.
So
many options.
The obvious one would have been Taylor Swift to come and perform with her boyfriend.
Oh,
on
yeah.
The field.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, but that's putting a lot of pressure on that relationship. What happens if they break up? Yeah. No, I'm happy too, but I just wanted to see your thoughts about the whole Lil Wayne conversation. People were really in their feelings about it.
People hot. People saying they're going to boycott the Super Bowl.
No, they won't. No, y'all not. Okay. Well, that would be interesting if they did, but I doubt it. Between now and February, they'll have something else to be mad about. Let's go to Willie calling us from Palmdale. Good morning, Willie.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to ask you, if the John Lewis bill passed, would that help fund the Native Americans to be able to vote?
If we had a John Lewis Voting Protection Act, it would help anybody vote. It's protecting voter rights and stopping voter suppression. So I think the answer is yes. It's kind of like that hate crime. Oh, maybe it's us. I thought that was Dr. Davis's phone. It's kind of like the hate crimes bill that everyone got their panties in a bunch about because they called it the Asian Pacific hate crimes bill. But the reality is it funded offices that fight hate crimes and initiatives that fight hate crimes for everybody. So the name of the bill was not as critical as what that bill would do. And, we'd have to have, but Willie, really, to pass a John Lewis voting Voter Protection Act, we'll probably have to control the House and the Senate. I don't see Republicans passing that, crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, because I was hearing that in Alaska, the natives there, they spread it out as big as Texas.
Right, where there's one voting drop box in every county in the middle of nowhere. I mean, those kinds of things, those voter suppression tactics, they happen wherever there are large populations of people who aren't white.
Yeah, like they were saying, like the Native Americans, during November, they get the snow, and some of the roads are too iced out, and a lot of people don't have transportation.
Right, which is why they should have vote by mail like we do in California. And it's so ironic that Trump was dead set against vote by mail. Whoops, I said it. But then now his party is encouraging people to vote by mail, but he's still saying it's crooked. You know, one can only pray that will backfire on him.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you for taking my call, Dominique.
Thank you for calling. Always good to hear from you, Willie from Palmdale. We're going to Big Phil calling us from Los Angeles. Hi.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Devil don't sleep. He's busy. Let me say one thing. Everywhere I move very quickly. We got to stop call over this Donald Trump mess. I don't listen to them polls. The sister's going to win. She's going to win big, okay? And not only that, what happened to Stacey down in Atlanta? One lost the government thing. She's kind of quiet. Have you heard from her lately?
I haven't heard from her, but I'm aware that they are busy organizing for a Democratic victory in Georgia.
Really?
Those organizers in Georgia may not be in the spotlight the way they were the last election cycle, but they're still doing the work.
Okay, well, I miss you on Sally. I missed a hell of a show. I was checking out with Robert Morris, one of my clients, and Deborah Log, Show Up Running Law. They sound very special, and boy, they turned it out. Oh, it was nice. Oh, God, I had a big, cheers and climax. They pretty good. They looked. It was nice. Nice second annual jazz festival down there.
Oh yeah. I wasn't quite up to snuff yet. I was still recovering. Or I would have definitely been there.
Yeah, I understand. I like little Kendrick Lamar. I think he's more intelligent than Snoop Doggy Dogg, and I think he's the next Tupac.
Did you just diss Snoop? Did you just diss Snoop? Is that what you just did?
Anyway, I love you guys. Stay safe. Be blessed.
You know, it's funny. I know why Big Phil is shading Snoop, because Phil calls here and says Snoop needs to stop gangbanging. It's time to grow up and all that, and I get that. It's funny, though, we were talking off the air one day about how everybody loves Snoop, except for Big Phil. But, I mean, he did the Olympics, and he was, huggable. Everybody was feeling him in that. He's set to do it again in 2028 here in L.A., He's on with Martha Stewart. He's in video games. He's in weird movies. He's
Coronas.
Coronas. He's still making his own albums. So what is the secret sauce? Why can Snoop do every job offered to him and not come off as corny or a sellout? He just comes across as Snoop. What is that?
It's the thizzle. Thizzle. She's saying, baby, this is the sauce. It's the aura. It's the Long Beach in him, man.
Yeah. It's that charisma and talent. I mean,
Riz, as the kids say.
Yeah, Riz. He's charismatic. He's creative, and he's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. I like Snoop, but I understand your point. I mean, is there a certain age or date in life where you're supposed to put down, your gang banging or your slanging or your thanging?
But look, but he's doing the Olympics and we're questioning if he's corny or not. Like,
I don't think he's corny, but I'm just saying, usually when people take every commercial opportunity or appear to take every commercial opportunity that comes their way, we think of them as sellouts or we think of them as corny, but no one says that about Snoop.
I think because he is still a gangster at the end of the day, and we know that he's still gangster at the end of the day.
Because he's authentic to who
It's
he
authentic,
is.
exactly, yeah.
We'll go with that. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's interesting. I remember Jim Brown, may he rest in peace, he used to talk about the righteous elders. The elders that don't sell out, get watered down, or get compromised. And so he would say, you know, give honor not just only to the elders, but to the righteous elders. And somehow, I think authenticity is part of that.
Is the point? I think the point of Snoop Dogg is to show the gangsters out there that you can be anything that you set your mind to. That's the point of him, is to show them how to be a chameleon and not just blend in the street environment, but to blend in every other, you know, lane you choose to cruise in. Not even get in and just and speed through, just cruising.
Yeah, I think that's right. I also think there's something about, you know, his service to the community. He does it in a way, you know, the way he does it, his football league and such. Because I always feel like, especially here in Los Angeles and Hollywood, people get caught up with trying to stay relevant as they get older. Like, I have to be relevant. And they do a lot of stupid stuff in the name of being relevant. And I always think to myself, if you would serve the community, you would automatically be relevant. Help someone and you'll be relevant. You won't have to try to be 22. You can just show up and help somebody. Boom, you're relevant. All right, enough on that. You're free to call me. I'd love to hear from you, 800-920-1580. If not, there's a whole bunch of things on my list of stuff we haven't had a chance to talk about yet, and we will get to those when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swift
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop! Swiffer Power Mop!
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth!
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
So a little palate refresher for your brain this morning. What I consider to be very good news. I'm hearing that over 100 people showed up to the Black Lives Matter monthly organizing meeting on yesterday in Los Angeles, and they showed up to talk about reparations and sign up to do the work. And we saw more than 100 at the meeting held by also at the Center for Black Power by CJAC and BLM LA and LEAP and other organizations. So clearly, what are we, a week out from that fail, a little over a week? Folks are still motivated and mobilizing, and I consider that good work. I think that if nothing more comes out of this than a renewed commitment to reparations and people paying more attention to what's going on at the Capitol, then we make lemonade out of lemons in this case, and that's important. Remember the 5 Memphis black police officers who were charged with killing Tyree Nichols? This is in Memphis, Tennessee, of course. They were charged with depriving him of his rights through excessive use of force, failure to intervene, and obstruction of justice, conspiring to cover up what happened. Well, those are felony charges. They carry possible life sentences, and 3 of those cops are going, all 5 are going on trial today, but 3 of them are looking at those charges. 2 of them have fewer charges. And we'll be keeping an eye on that for you. This is one of those cases where the body cam footage and the surveillance footage was horrifying. And he died, Tyree Nichols was only 29. He died 3 days after his encounter with those cops from blunt force trauma. Called it a homicide. His parents are vowing, obviously, to be there every single day in court. President Trump, I can understand. It seems like this guy just never runs out of luck. A judge has delayed his sentencing till after the election, which means that if he wins, he'll never be sentenced. This is in the New York criminal case that happened Friday. Judge Juan Merchan said that he would delay the sentencing because he did not want to appear to be interfering with the presidential race's outcome. He wrote a 4-page letter. He said he'll sentence him on the 26th of November. Of course, if he's elected president on the 5th, that will be null and void. He was convicted on those 34 counts, you may remember, back in May, and has been granted delay after delay, after delay after delay, in the start of the trials and the sentencing. And now, once again, Judge Merchan, who's been, in my opinion, doing a great job, has stopped short of this election. I understand why he's doing that. I feel like he's going the extra mile. But to me, if you were worried about impacting the presidential election, Mr. Trump, you shouldn't have committed those 34 felonies. I mean, I think by the time you're convicted, even if you're a billionaire running for president, you should face the music. But he's weaseled his way out once again. And should he be elected, he'll just be a convicted felon with no accountability. I'd have to ask a lawyer to find out whether or not the charges would stick post-presidency. But based on things that the former president has said, there may be no post-presidency, because he said this is the last election you'll need to vote in. Maybe he's not planning to step down. Maybe he's thinking that, he'll just have a dictatorship. Maybe he's thinking he'll change the rules so Democrats can never win again. Who knows what? And of course you heard, that he, on a podcast, he admitted that he had not won the 2020 presidential election. Why is that not a game changer? The big lie, which has mobilized and motivated his followers all the way to an attempted coup on the Capitol, all the way to the January 6th chaos and violence, is now admitting it's a lie, and no one cares. I don't understand this. Make it make sense. He just admitted to you that he's been lying all along and manipulating you to storming the Capitol, manipulating you to acting like he's the victim. But he just admitted he lost, quote, by a whisker. What is going on in the world right now? He lies, and then people keep saying the big lie, even though he's admitted that the big lie was a big lie. He told Lex Friedman on his podcast that he lost by a whisker. Wow. Just wow. Does the truth not even matter at all? Well, whether it does or whether it doesn't, I'm going to keep saying it because it should matter. And I'm hoping we can get back to the times when it did matter. He lost. He admits that he lost. That should mean something. Well, a lot of people, speaking of people being upset, a lot of people thank you, Paul Lee, and it was nice to see you the other night at the town hall, crazy town hall in Los Angeles, that Beyonce got shut out of the Country Music Awards. Not one nomination for Cowboy Carter, even though it's been 4 weeks on the top of Billboard's Top Country Albums chart. First black woman to do that. First black woman to hit the #1 spot on Billboard's Hot Country Songs with Texas Hold'em. She stayed there for 10 weeks. She had a bunch of 7 other tracks from that album that hit the top 10. 7. So 8 tracks from Cowboy Carter hit the top 10. And she has not one nomination. Are we surprised? No. Are we shocked? Yes. Are we surprised? No. Obviously it's racism. She's brought new energy to the genre. Nominate her. You don't have to give her the award. And to make it more interesting, Post Malone got multiple nominations. So apparently you can cross over to the music our ancestors created, but not if you're one of our ancestors' descendants. Make it make sense. All right, we're talking voting rights and what to do about it when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. 3 former Memphis, Tennessee police